What's up, guys? This is my $1,500 1999 Mercedes SL500. I did a previous video of another one that was the same color and same interior color, but about 3 years older, and had a salvage title. This one has a clean title. It has a clean title despite this gigantic dent. It only affected the hood, nothing else structural, so I'm gonna either get a replacement hood or get this one fixed. It runs pretty well. Tires are okay. The rims were painted black, so they have some chips. It runs pretty well. It has a code for a bad mass airflow sensor. When I got it, it was running too cold, so I replaced the thermostat, flushed the cooling system, and once it got warmed up, it started showing the issues that it has. But I drove this car about 2 hours home. This is the interior. The biggest issues would be the driver's seat has some tears. There's a little crack on the center console. The wood's a bit dried out. The car's originally from California. Spent about 10 years in New York and then went back to the California desert. So the interior actually for the price could be a lot worse. I'm going to redo the mesh covering on these, the speaker panels. You can see the top has the mesh, the bottom doesn't. Wood has some cracks, driver's door has some wear. This works. You can see a little bit of carpet stripes. The previous owner had it shampooed before selling it to me. I didn't really have a lot of intention of buying this car. He was actually asking, I believe, $3,000 for it. And at that price I wasn't interested, so I ended up waiting a week, and then he contacted me to see if I was still interested, and I was in the area. So I took a look and made him an offer he couldn't refuse. So yeah, you can see the carpet's nice and clean, mostly thanks to the shampoo. Dash is good. So the original radio, there was a custom stereo in it, and the wiring was all hacked up, so I hooked up the original harness and got the original radio working. The passenger seat's actually relatively clean. I've cleaned it a little bit beyond what the guy's detailer did. Passenger door panel's clean, but again, I'm going to redo these. So yeah. I was pretty surprised. The dashboard for being in the desert was pretty good. I need to line up some of the panels in the back and probably do a bit better of a shampoo. I put a nice little air freshener in here because it smelled a little bit musty. It has the matching hardtop. Headliner needs to be redone or re-glued. They re-glued it a bit so it doesn't fall on your head, but it's not perfect. The visors are okay. They do need the little visor caps, and they will need the mirrors, whatever you call them. So yeah, that's kind of cool. Yeah, you can see this panel back here is kind of popping off, so I'm gonna have to put that back. But yeah, again, this is a clean title, no salvage, no accidents. Well, there was one accident reported, but it didn't salvage the car. And I believe it was back here because the trunk lid doesn't line up perfectly. So that's where I'm assuming, and the bumper cover doesn't line up exact. That might be a separate bump, but anyway, I'll get that fixed. That's pretty easy. So let me take my that off and let's see here. I'll go ahead and start up the car. So this guy put a ridiculous Flowmaster muffler on it, so you guys are going to hear some sounds you probably didn't want to hear. He should have put a Borla or something on it, but you know, who knows. Sounds kind of like a dragster, like a Chevy 350. So, hey, look, guys, the check engine light went away. So it looks like I fixed it by doing nothing at all. So, cool. Yeah, somebody put the gauge cluster back in incorrectly. So, you can see it's like pushed too far back. So I'm gonna have to figure that out. But yeah, original stereo. Even the AC is cold. So I guess his son originally paid, I want to say, he said he's paid like $4,000 or $4,200 for the car. And I actually remember this car being for sale about a year prior to me purchasing it. So his son bought it, and his son, I guess, is the one who ended up bumping the hood. Oh yeah, wow, look, no check engine light. Fascinating. Okay. Well, that makes me feel better. So yeah, the detailer did a nice job cleaning out this cup holder. The front one was broken, just completely in pieces, so I took it out. I fixed the back one, which was actually also in pieces, but now it actually works. So, and the slider works too. So yeah, this thing, there's some cracks here. It's missing the button. I'm very impressed with the passenger seat for the price of this car. So the biggest thing, the top hydraulics on these cars, which operate the power top, are most likely leaking. I noticed a little bit of oily residue here. So I'm not sure if they've been fixed. So I'm not even going to attempt to use the top. I'm probably just going to take it off and rebuild the top hydraulics. So I'm into this car with parts and everything right now, maybe $1,700. I know that the top hydraulics are about $600 to have rebuilt if I send them out. So yeah, you can see some wear on the seat. So the driver's seat is power, but it doesn't move forward or back, but it does recline. So it's something stuck on the forward and back motion. But little ashtray works. I thought that was kind of cool. It even has a little lighter. This is incorrect. This shift knob, that's off of like a 96, 95. So this thing's kind of broken, sort of works, but I vacuumed it all out. It probably needs to be detailed a little bit better. Thankfully the guy detailed it, and then I've cleaned it, and then now I've got to do the final details. He missed some carpet spots there, as you can see. That might have been after he detailed it, who knows. I don't really know how long ago he detailed it, but yeah, so it's got the SRS light on, which I believe is the passenger seat sensor, the sensor for the weight in here. But who knows? So I'll pop the hood. It has 171,000 miles. I ran the Carfax on it, and I am the 11th owner. So this is a new record for me. I've had 5 or 6 owner cars, but you know, 11, that's a good one. So with sports cars, I mean, who cares, right? People keep it for 2 years and sell it. But who knows? It might be a lemon. It runs pretty smooth. Coolant tank was leaking, so I got to use one. And again, new thermostat. I replaced the hose running along the top. Very tiny misfire when it's cold and idle. You can hear the little purge valve clicking. Spark plugs were redone recently before I got it. It's missing the fan shroud entirely. So it probably just, you know, sometimes they crack from heat or whatever, so I'm going to replace the fan shroud. It's also missing the under tray. I replaced the cabin filter, and there was a ton of leaves in it. Here's a photo of some of the leaves that came out. I just threw them into the dirt. So yeah, it was pretty bad. So, anyway, this is the $1,500 SL500. Thanks for watching.